Councilmember Schaaf, District 4, great to see you. And I'm being so doggone formal, but I've known her for so long, I don't know why I'm being in that way, right? Talk to me about the budget. Are you satisfied with the outcome?
I am. Budgets always involve compromise, but one of the things that made me so happy about this year's budget was the process. We adopted a policy that I actually authored to require advance notice of budget proposals and a lot more transparency and opportunities for public participation. I have to say, I was surprised at how much I think it influenced the product and the amount of influence that Oakland citizens had on the final budget that the city of Oakland is now under.
Wow.
It made me happy.
Unprecedented. Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to say about the controversy regarding police spending to viewers? Because there's some people that thought that police spending, thank you very much. This is, oh, this looks good. This looks really good. Look at that. Oh, that looks fantastic. Wow. That looks even better. Yeah. I should copy off of you, Libby. That was bad move on my part. There are people who felt that it was a sort of a guns versus butter choice. In other words, guns being police versus butter and the workers. Disagree or? No?
I think people tried to make it sound like the budget was more controversial and divisive than it was. There were kind of two proposals that were incredibly similar. Both proposals had the exact same number of cops. One proposal had more civilian positions. So a lot of us feel like one of the effective parts of beefing up public safety in Oakland is doing more civilianization of the police department. And that's what
does that mean?
That I was part of.
Civilianization. What does that define that?
So that means that to the extent that when you recruit, screen, train, and hire a police officer, it's a very long, complicated, and expensive process. And when you get to the end of that process, you want to utilize that officer really only in situations where a badge and a gun, unfortunately, make a difference. There are so many tasks that often police officers end up doing that can be done just as effectively by a less expensive employee who doesn't have to have all the training to carry a gun. Report writing, investigations, transport. There are all sorts of functions that complement public safety that do not need to be done by sworn officers. And so part of maximizing public safety and minimizing the cost is to really look at opportunities where we can use less expensive civilian employees to do these types of functions and support our officers and utilize them where their presence is most impactful. So that's where the debate was, because every proposal had the same number of actual officers in it. The mayor, council presidents, and the Brooks-Reed-Gaio proposal all get the city to just under 700 police in the next 2 years. So where the fighting was over these civilian positions, and at the end of the day, the Brooks-Reed-Gaio proposal ended up proposing all but, I think, 4 of the 15 civilian positions that had been proposed by Kernahan, which I also supported and was involved with putting together that particular part of that recommendation. And at the end of the day, the amount of money recommended for graffiti abatement, illegal dumping was actually the same in both of the proposals. Now, the media made it sound like it was some sort of hills versus flatlands, cops versus cleaning debate. That really wasn't the case. On those two issues, the proposals were nearly identical.
Interesting.
So really, Oaklanders were heard, and the council found a way to satisfy both those demands. We are restoring these cleanup services as well as beefing up the police department, particularly with these civilian employees, which, by the way, over the last 6 years, took a much bigger cut than the actual cops took.
What about the workers' strike? Any thoughts on the future of the Oakland worker? I mean, and what happened in terms of their claims that their payments were being rolled back. They apparently did get their COLA.
They have not gotten a COLA.
I mean, in
Not
the
right
new
now.
budget, they're still out. It's still on the table. They're still okay.
Well, we're still in negotiations.
Okay.
But the budget that we passed assumes that the furlough days go away,
Okay.
but that there is no cost of living
Oh.
adjustment.
Libby, the mayor put out a press release saying that she had offered a COLA to them.
Now we have, but that
Okay.
has not yet been accepted.
Ah,
That
gotcha.
that is
Okay.
on the table.
Okay.
But the negotiations are not complete.
Okay, I get you. That press release is written a little weirdly. Interesting.
Yeah, that offer was made.
Okay. What are your thoughts on this whole scandal?
So,
Or is it proper to call it a scandal? I mean,
I have a lot of sympathy for the workers. They have made huge sacrifices. They have taken cuts to keep their coworkers still employed. I always am influenced by my own experience. I was a city worker who was laid off.
Right.
But I really appreciate all the sacrifices city workers made to reduce that severe penalty and to try and maintain as many services for the public as possible. And our workers, these are friends of mine. I mean, they go above and beyond. I mean, every organization has a few underperformers, but the vast majority of Oakland workers are so passionate about their jobs, and they really have made very significant sacrifices. At the same time, there is only so much money, and we have to balance trying to restore services, which means hiring new people
Right.
to bring back kind of all the cuts that were made. We've cut 20% of the workforce
Wow.
of the city of Oakland over the last few years. So those are services. So we're trying to balance bringing back those services to serve the public, as well as trying to adjust compensation fairly. And at the end of the day, I'm sure no one's going to be happy because there just aren't enough resources.
Now, Save Our Streets, your speaker series.
Oh, Safe Oakland.
Safe Oakland, I
The
apologize.
Safe
Yes,
Oakland
Safe
speaker
Oakland,
of the
yeah.
series.
Right. Talk to my viewers about that and how it's going and with the next.
That has been just a phenomenal journey. I reached out to a number of kind of nationally famous academics in the field of safety, crime prevention, and every single person said yes. I did not get one.
Wow, that's
no.
incredible. All right.
Andrew Papachristos,
Who could say no to Libby?
a sociology professor at Yale. He actually used his own grant funds to pay to fly out here and stay here just
Wow.
to give this public talk. So it was great. I called people and I said, I have no money. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to spend a dime of public
Sure.
funding on
Right,
this,
right.
but I'd really like it if you could come to Oakland. So yeah, we had 7 events ranging from UC Berkeley law professors, Stanford law professors, UCLA public policy professor, as well as a really wonderful panel of people that work doing direct street outreach. And that was a great kind of contrast to these academics that spoke, very theoretically with statistics. These were people that were telling stories straight out of Oakland's streets, and in some cases emergency rooms. So it was just a phenomenal set of
come on.
experts. Come on in.
Yeah. This looks great. Look at that. Yum.
Yum.
What is that? What is that, ma'am?
Roasted chicken and noodle soup.
Roasted chicken?
Chicken. Roasted chicken
noodle
with
soup.
egg noodle soup.
Wow, look at that. That looks really great.
I am fighting a cold, and this is just what
Perfect.
the doctor ordered. I'm going to put some jalapenos in there.
Hey, on the subject of safety, a good source tells me that William Bratton might be the next police chief.
So Bratton is a controversial figure in Oakland. In some ways, I think in ways he doesn't deserve to be, because there's a lot more to Bill Bratton than stop and frisk policies, which I don't think anyone in Oakland is interested in having aggressive stop and frisk policies.
Right.
Bill Bratton had an incredible record in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I mean, the head of the ACLU sings his praises. The statistics about the way that the police improved their relationship with all communities, even people that were being arrested, their opinion of the LAPD improved under Bratton. that is something I would welcome for Oakland. I would be thrilled to death if Bill Bratton wanted to come be Oakland's police chief. I have certainly heard from experts that that part of his career is done, and that he's flying around the world consulting.
Yeah.
So
making good money.
so I don't know if that's going to happen for us, but I'm also really pleased with our new leadership team.
Yeah.
Under Chief Went, Assistant Chief Paul Figueroa, who's an Oakland grown
Right. Now you
guy.
introduced me to him if I recall.
He's
Yeah.
so fantastic.
Now look at that. This is my dish. Wow. Yeah. Gotta love that. Wow. Hey, you were saying about Figueroa.
I'm hopeful. I think the new leadership is a lot more of them are born and raised in Oakland. Daniel Lawless is Daniel Outlaw. Believe it or not, we have police officers named Outlaw and Lawless. But yeah, Daniel Outlaw is another Oakland native that got promoted as part of the new leadership team.
Wow.
Holly Joshi is the new chief of staff. Our kids are in public school together. She lives up the street from me, another Oakland native. So, I'm very excited about the new direction that the police department is going in culturally, as well as the fact that we are finally going to be building up our numbers. Right now, Zenny, is the lowest police coverage that we will have for decades.
Wow.
Because those academy graduates that are technically counted as officers, they're still in their field training, but they leave field training next week, and that's when we will start to regrow the police coverage in the city.
Is there anything that viewers and constituents you need help on that you want to let them know about? So they take action on this,
I want people to sign up for my newsletter.
Okay.
Go to libbyschaaf.com, LIBBYSCHAAF, as in Frank.com, and sign up for my newsletter because
it should be a song or something. I don't know.
there is a song, Libby, 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 but
oh, that's right.
You and I are old enough to remember that commercial jingle. Because that's when I need help, when I want people to know about something, a lot of times it's short notice, and so it's that newsletter subscription list that I use to send alerts out to.
Yeah.
I really feel like people got heard during the budget process. I got hundreds of emails, and I know the rest of the council did too. And you saw that proposal from Brooks, Gaio, and Reed change 3 times, and every time I felt like it was in direct response to people like you being heard, getting on the phone, writing that email, and politicians actually do listen to their citizens. They feel that pressure. And so never think that your speaking up doesn't make a difference. It really does.
Well, speaking of which, talk about transparency and the Open Oakland project, because I know you've been a watcher of that and involved, so right?
Yeah, well, you've known me a long time, so
Yes.
you remember my godmother, Mary Lawrence, dragging me to League of Women Voter meetings from times immemorial. So a belief in an open, transparent, and responsive government is kind of what brought me to this work in the first place. So there's incredible work going on. I know you, Zenny, are part of the Open Oakland Brigade. It's a brigade.
Not as much as I should be. I mean, I went to one meeting. I don't want anybody watching this saying, only somebody at one meeting. It's true, only somebody at one meeting. I'm a big proponent. Thank you, Libby, for that. I appreciate that.
All right, well, you should go to more.
You're right, I should. I deserve to be punished.
But check out openoakland.org on the web. They meet every Tuesday night in City Hall, right inside the 14th Street door in Hearing 3. It's a group. You don't have to be a coder or a technologically savvy person.
Or a blogger.
To go. You just need to be passionate about democracy and passionate about Oakland. But these citizens are looking at ways to harness technology to create better connections. They were the ones that created Open Budget Oakland, which is this super cool visualization of the city's budget. I had city employees calling me saying they had never seen anything so informative about where our money's going. These are people that have worked in this issue for years. They're working on a much easier way to get crime data about your own neighborhood. They're working on something called Councilmatic, where if there's a particular issue
Councilmember.
and you want to be notified when the city council is making a decision or discussing a particular issue or something in your neighborhood, this application would notify you. I mean, right now, you've got to dig through the city's website and find the agenda and read every single item on the agenda. Most of our agendas, we often have 80 items on an agenda.
Wow.
I have to read all of them, but the average citizen is not going to want to take
No,
the
that's
time.
true.
So it's innovations like this that are connecting people with their government, making democracy more robust. That's what this city needs. There are so many smart, passionate citizens living in Oakland, and we need their brain power and their involvement to help us make the right decisions and guide the city towards the bright future that you and I know that this city deserves.
And on that note, this is getting cold. Let's eat.
All right.
Thanks, Councilmember. Thank you, Libby.
Thanks, Lenny.
Yes.